From the most insulting goal in history to Ronaldo slapping an opponent, these are the 35 most disrespectful moments in football. And first, a moment of indiscipline that cost Ronaldo his Manchester United career.
I'm not hiding that the empathy with the coach is not good. I'm honest.
You don't have a good relationship with him.
The empathy is not good.
Do you think he respects you?
I think he don't respect the way I should deserve.
After sealing a sensational return to Manchester United, many people doubted a 37-year-old Ronaldo would be any good. However, in his first season there, he silenced all his doubters by scoring 24 goals in all competitions. But as the second season started, he began finding playing time hard to come by. For a man who had scored over 800 goals and won 5 Ballon d'Or, sitting on the bench was rather frustrating. However, Manchester United manager Erik ten Hag felt playing other players was better, but Ronaldo disagreed. So with tension between the player and manager at its highest, Ten Hag benched Ronaldo for the welcome of Tottenham. This decision seemed perfect as Manchester United raced to a 2-0 lead, but with a few seconds of normal time left and no hope of playing, Ronaldo did this.
There you go, good night.
After the final whistle was blown, Ronaldo's behavior was the only thing the pundits wanted to discuss.
What's just happened, Clinton?
He's walked down the tunnel. I just saw him, I don't know what, 4 minutes of added down time, but yeah, they showed Cristiano Ronaldo walking back down the tunnel, probably to the dressing room.
If he's done that, it's an absolute disgrace. I think that's disrespectful to the team, to the manager, to the fans. They're winning 2-0. What complaint can he have within this? If they were losing 2-0, it still wouldn't be right, but I would sort of understand it. He clearly thinks he's bigger than the football club.
I'm not hiding that the empathy with the coach is not good. I'm honest.
You don't have a good relationship.
The empathy is not good.
Do you think he respects you?
I think he don't respect the way I should deserve. Everyone know that.
Disrespecting you.
Exactly. This is why I say I don't have respect for him because he don't show me respect for me.
To be honest, his behavior was not cool. But if Ronaldo can get away with disrespecting a coach, you better believe Messi will be doing the same thing. In the build-up to the 2022 World Cup quarterfinal between Argentina and Netherlands, the Dutch coach had this to say about Messi. Messi is the most dangerous, creative player. He is able to help create a lot and to score goals himself. But when they lose the ball, he doesn't participate much. This gives us chances. Messi didn't like this statement at all. So when he scored a penalty against the Netherlands, he ran straight to their bench and did this. After winning the game, Messi still wasn't over the coach's comments, so he confronted Van Gaal and gave him a piece of his mind.
Van Gaal saying we got an advantage in penalties. If we go to penalties, we win. I think he needs to keep his mouth shut.
However, this wasn't the only controversy involving Messi in the game. After coming to score an equalizer for the Netherlands, Weghorst was a little too enthusiastic when he tried to win the ball from Messi.
Have set up here a potential grandstand finish with
the Argentine clearly wasn't happy about the tackle and even showed the ref his bruises. So after Argentina won the match via penalties, Weghorst waited at the dressing room entrance to apologize to Messi. But the little man was having none of it. He snubbed Weghorst's handshake, and when he noticed the striker was still waiting for him, he expressed his anger.
Con Leo Messi, bueno Leo, quedaste un poco caliente por el final.
¿Qué mira, bobo? ¿Qué mira, bobo? Anda para allá, bobo. Anda para allá.
Tranquilo, Leo.
My Spanish isn't fluent, but I'm sure he's not talking about cameras. But while calling your opponent a fool isn't nice, it's nothing compared to what Douglas Costa did at number 32. During a match between Juventus and Sassuolo, Juve winger Douglas Costa elbowed Sassuolo's Francesco after what seemed to be a strong tackle. As the two players squared up to each other, the referee quickly stepped in, but Costa was still out for blood. So when it seemed like they were talking things over, Costa did the unthinkable by spitting in his opponent's mouth.
Douglas Costa was sent off a straight.
That is the most disgusting thing I've seen a footballer do to his opponent. But at number 31, Alex Iwobi took disrespect to a whole other level.
This player has bad manners, and this is the reason why he has bad manners. Alex Iwobi and Amaringo.
During a match between Arsenal and Rennes, Alex Iwobi and Traore got into an argument. But as soon as Traore opened his mouth to talk, this happened. Damn! Bro really did him bad in front of thousands of people. But as disrespectful as this might have been, it's nothing compared to what cost Vinny Jr. the Ballon d'Or. In the Champions League semi-final between Real Madrid and Bayern Munich, the Bavarians led the game for most of the time, and it seemed they would book a place in the final. But two quick-fire goals from Madrid turned the game on its head. With the Los Blancos leading, Vinny Jr. decided it was time to wind up his opponents. So when the ball went out for a throw-in, he did this.
Dass Marciniak in der Situation auf seinen Assistenten reagiert und es nicht laufen lässt. Hatte alles im Griff bis eben.
A lot might see this as part of the game, but many others believe it was behavior like this that cost him the Ballon d'Or. However, it seems there's an agenda against Brazilians, because at number 29, Neymar was attacked for playing football? During a match between Athletic Bilbao and Barcelona, the Catalans were leading 3-1 with just 4 minutes left. But when Neymar tried rainbow flicking the ball over his opponent, it turned into a massive brawl. I don't get why they were angry. I mean, if a player is skilled enough to beat you, just get out of the way. Which reminds me of the time Messi ended Jerome Boateng's career. In a match between Bayern Munich and Barcelona, the Bavarians hoped to spring an upset to progress to the 2015 Champions League final. Unfortunately, the trio of Messi, Suarez, and Neymar were at the peak of their powers. So with 13 minutes left on the clock, Messi said, "That, I'm Messi," then went ahead to do this.
Here he is again. That's astonishing. It's absolutely world class.
This is by far the most humiliating dribble I've ever seen. He fell down like he'd been frozen solid. Despite the success he's achieved in his career, this moment is what fans remember him by. But at number 27, Chiellini wasn't about to allow one moment to destroy his legacy. During the Euro 2020 final between England and Italy, the Three Lions rushed into an early lead via a goal by left back Luke Shaw.
Cross, and it's Luke Shaw!
The Italians pushed and got an equalizer in the 67th minute of the game.
Flicked across, this is a problem, and it is in! Italy on level, and it is Bonucci!
With the end of normal time fast approaching, England's Bukayo Saka thought he had gotten the better of Chiellini, only for this to happen.
Saka. Nothing you can do there.
I shouldn't be laughing, but that is such a disrespectful tackle. He pulled him back like he was some toddler. But while Chiellini's tackle was funny, there was nothing cool about what Montes did at number 26. The rivalry between the US and Mexican national teams is hardly surprising. I mean, it's basically neighbors fighting for bragging rights. Typically, games between the pair are always intense, but on this day, there was a bit of extra tension in the air. With the USA leading and outplaying Mexico in the CONCACAF Nations League semifinal, Mexico's Montez had enough of the humiliation and decided to vent his frustrations on Balogun.
Quite the physical effort, and this is bubbled over. Montez shown red. A straight red card. And this has gotten totally out of hand. McKennie's shirt ripped off in the aftermath as he kisses the crest.
This immediately sparked a massive brawl between both sets of players. It was so chaotic that the referee didn't even know who to book. And speaking of brawls, a goal scored by a Lazio player turned a match into the Royal Rumble. In a match between Inter and Lazio, the game seemed destined for a draw after both teams scored from the penalty spot.
Responsibilities and gives it to the lead. It's Ciro Immobile.
Still, the match was intense as both teams wanted to win for various reasons. But from what seemed like a foul on an Inter player, Lazio broke free and scored on the counter-attack.
Play when Di Marco is down, so Lazio have the right to do likewise. Felipe Anderson, Immobile 1 against 1 with Skriniar, and Felipe Anderson with a tap-in! Handanovic spilt in, and Felipe Anderson is the hero for Lazio. It's all kicking off because Inter felt that Lazio should have put the ball out of play when Di Marco was down injured.
Instead of complaining to the referee, the Inter players attacked their Lazio counterparts, leading to a massive fight. As the tempers were calmed and play resumed, Lazio scored a third goal to seal the victory. However, while other players celebrated with their fans, Felipe decided to do this.
Shortly after full-time, Luis Felipe sent off for goading Joaquin Correa after the defeat. Full-time score, Lazio 3, Inter 1.
Losing such a heated game was bad enough, but getting disrespected like that? I don't blame Correa for retaliating that way. But at number 24, Cole Palmer's reaction to his teammates fighting is one of the funniest things you'll see. In a heated match between Chelsea and Nottingham Forest, a foul by Nico Williams on Cucurella caused a massive fight between Chelsea and Forest players.
That's a cynical trip from Nico Williams, who's only just come on. It's right in front of the Chelsea bench, and it sparked something of a melee here. The trip off the ball by Nico Williams, and now Chelsea and Forest players piling in, and Forest have to be...
But while everyone was flexing their muscles, Cole Palmer casually walked to the side and sat on the field. It was as if to say, "Go on then, clowns. When you're done, let's get back to football." It kind of reminds me of a viral meme. Yeah, that one. But this wasn't the only time Chelsea players fought. At number 23, they embarrassed themselves over a penalty kick. During a match between Chelsea and Everton, Chelsea's Cole Palmer scored a first-half hat trick. As the second half resumed, Chelsea got the opportunity to score a fourth goal when they were awarded a penalty. But when Nicholas Jackson picked up the ball to play it, this happened.
Got caught, got heavily caught, burst the ball. Madueke's desperate to take this, arguing with Jackson.
The APP, the offside has been checked. And had a look at it as to who will take this. Nicholas Jackson.
You're 4-0 up and you're arguing between yourselves. What is going on here?
Madueke storms off in a huff. Nicholas Jackson likewise.
This wasn't just embarrassing to watch. The disrespect from Cole Palmer toward his teammates was just cold. He had already scored a hat trick, but still snubbed them like they were nothing. But as shameful as this might have been, it's nothing compared to what Balotelli did in the USA.
And are you kidding? Serious? Mario Balotelli. That's a bit disrespectful, I believe, to the LA Galaxy.
In a preseason friendly between Manchester City and LAFC, Mario Balotelli was put clean through on goal. But instead of shooting to score, he did this.
Beautifully timed run, Balotelli to make it 2. Are you kidding? Serious? Mario Balotelli. And he's getting booed for this. That's a bit. And what Mario Balotelli just pulled off. James Milner comes on for him. Let's take a look and see how the reaction is in the bench. Look at that chant. Boy, this is
This was so disrespectful that the fans started booing him. No wonder his manager took him off immediately. But at number 21, Ronaldo slapped an opponent for annoying him. It happened in a World Cup qualifying match between Portugal and Ireland. The Irish got into a shock lead just before halftime, but as the second half resumed, they went into a deep block to protect their precious lead. Unfortunately, they conceded an early penalty, but just as Ronaldo was about to take the spot kick, this happened.
O'Shea kicks it away, look.
There was contact with his shoulder from Ronaldo,
Well,
as you
can't
saw.
do that.
VAR's intervention. Ronaldo against Bazunu. Oh, and he saved it! What a save from Gavin Bazunu!
I can't lie, that slap was funny, but O'Shea's antics seemed to work as Ronaldo missed the penalty kick. But with a few minutes left from an embarrassing defeat, Ronaldo did what he does best. Come up clutch for his country.
How difficult was it for you, considering that you missed that early penalty?
It's part of the game. It's part of the business. Sometimes you score, sometimes you mistake. It's part of the business. But I still believe to the end of the game. So I'm so glad to score and to winning the game.
Still, the GOAT putting the Irish in their place was only good for number 21. Wait till you see the disrespect Podolski showed to his opponent at number 10. But before we get to that, let's see the shithousery by Maupay that completely backfired. In a match between Tottenham and Brentford, Neal Maupay scored the game's first goal and recreated James Maddison's celebration.
The goal was disallowed. Brentford do get one this time.
This act didn't sit well with the Spurs players. So when they scored the equalizer, they did the same celebration Maupay was mocking.
He's got three arriving. It's Werner! It's in! What a turnaround!
They did the same thing for the next two goals they scored, and Maupay's antics returned to haunt him. After the match, Maddison was asked what he thought about Maupay copying his celebration. He said, he's not scored enough goals of his own to have his own celebration.
What did you say to Neal Maupay? What was going on in that conversation? James, tell us.
I just said to him, he probably hasn't scored enough goals of his own over the last few years to have his own celebration, so he probably has to copy mine.
However, Maupay got the last laugh when he went to his Twitter page and posted, "More goals and less relegations in my career than James Maddison." When you thought that the beef was over, Maupay posted this picture when Maddison didn't make the England squad for Euro 2024. But as ridiculous as this rivalry might have been, it's nothing compared to what Dybala did to Guendouzi.
He's saying that Dybala kicked out at him.
Matches between Roma and Lazio tend to be heated. Well, that isn't surprising considering they share the same city. But on this particular day, the players were more on edge. So when Dybala slid to collect the ball from Guendouzi, the Frenchman wasn't impressed and even tried to fight his Argentine counterpart. But instead of retaliating, Dybala brought out his shin pads to remind Guendouzi of how France lost the 2022 final to Argentina. Players humiliating each other. That's stuff we see every day. But a player humiliating a manager? That's best left for guys like Carlos Tevez. During a match between Man City and Bolton, City striker Carlos Tevez expressed anger at being substituted.
Oh, and he's had a word with Mancini there. Has Tevez. And there doesn't seem to be too much love lost.
So as punishment, the coach benched him for the next match against Bayer. With the team losing 2-0 in the second half of the game, Aguero got injured and Tevez was asked to warm up and enter the pitch. But the Argentine blatantly refused to come on. The coach and everyone on the City bench were shocked. When asked why Tevez didn't play, the coach said,
So what happened? Why didn't you bring... He refused to go in. He refused to come onto the pitch?
You have to feel bad for Mancini. He didn't deserve to be disrespected like that. But this wasn't the only time a player humiliated his manager. During the 2019 Carabao Cup final between Man City and Chelsea, the boys from London played brilliantly to drag the game into extra time. But with a few minutes left until penalty shootouts, Chelsea's manager had a quick glance at his goalkeeper's record and decided to replace him with a better penalty stopper. To the surprise of the coach, Kepa refused to come off.
No, please, no.
After humiliating his coach in public, he went ahead to flop badly in the shootout.
And so I didn't want the goalkeeper go to the penalties in that physical condition. I realized that the situation only after 3-4 minutes when the doctor arrived there. And the goalkeeper wanted only to let me know that he was in condition to go to the penalty. So it was only a big misunderstanding. Kepa was right, but in the wrong way, I think.
And speaking of disrespect, Dembele disgraced his former club so bad that the fans started protesting.
Wait.
The build-up to the Champions League match between PSG and Barcelona was exciting for various reasons. Still, it was fascinating because former Barcelona player Ousmane Dembele was set to face his former club for the first time. During the match, Dembele scored and celebrated wildly in front of his new fans. This act didn't sit well with the Barca fans, considering they stood by him during his difficult spell at the club. So when it was time for the second leg, the fans came prepared for Dembele. First, they threw fake money with face on it, then chanted abusive words toward him. During the match, they booed him whenever he touched the ball, but he seemed unfazed as he scored the equalizer for PSG. The night went from bad to worse for Barca as Araujo got sent off. This opened the door for PSG's charge. As expected, Dembele was central to their attack, playing with precision and accuracy. He won his team a penalty and laughed at the Barcelona fans' meltdown. When he was being subbed off, he continued laughing till he got to the bench. Damn, the last time I saw someone this bitter about their ex was when my girl left me. But it seems Barca couldn't catch a break, because during a match against Manchester United, Bruno did something that got the players pissed off. After winning the ball from the Manchester United player, De Jong tried dribbling his way out, only for Bruno to do this.
It's a push on De Jong, it's a Barcelona free kick. And a little bit of furious aftermath here. The referee saw that developing, decided to stand aside and just keep a look from a distance to see who the perpetrators are. Bruno Fernandes was...
I don't know what they feed them at Man United, man. Because in a match against Bayern, they did something worse. During a Champions League match between Man United and Bayern Munich, Kingsley Coman brilliantly defended a pass to Garnacho, but the young Argentine showed his frustration by doing this.
Just slightly too far in front of Garnacho. A painful one into the boards for Kingsley Coman.
But as silly as this might have been, it is nothing compared to what Pepe did to Messi. During the Pep vs Mourinho rivalry in Spain, matches between Real Madrid and Barcelona were an all-out brawl. Both sets of players played like they deliberately wanted to hurt each other. During one of those games, Messi was fouled by a Real Madrid player. After going down, Pepe came close to him, and suddenly Messi started rolling in pain. At first, it didn't seem serious, but when the replay was shown, wow, it was just nasty. After doing this, Pepe still pretended he was innocent. But if you think this is awful, wait until you see what he did at number 12. In a match between Real Madrid and Getafe, Pepe was furious when the referee blew a penalty after his challenge. But instead of complaining to the referee, he decided to do this.
Casquero on the chance to score. He's brought down for a kick. Pepe has lost the plot here. What was doing there?
Well, football justice in Spain is a joke. So, you appeal, and if they get something out of it, great. Plus, backing the player.
Damn! You gotta ask, what did they do to piss him off like that? However, the Spanish FA didn't care and banned him for 10 games. But the shocking part about this story is that Pepe came out and apologized.
Eu fiquei para poder continuar fazendo isso aqui no Besiktas, poder ajudar meus companheiros.
Stop it. Can you believe that? Speaking of apologies, the West Ham fans needed to owe Fiorentina compensation for what they did to their player. It happened in the Europa Conference League final between both clubs. As Fiorentina's Biraghi stood to take a corner, West Ham fans started throwing objects at him. It looked like cups and trash, but someone threw a hard object that broke the player's head. Supporting a team is one thing, but injuring a player like this is disrespectful and unacceptable. But even such embarrassing behavior was only good for number 11. Wait till you see what Ibrahimovic did to Lukaku at our number 1 pick. But before we get to that, let's listen to a disgraceful comment by Lucas Podolski.
Shut up! Now you are in the same place like me! Shut up!
During a Polish league match, Lucas Podolski and Eric Exposito got into a heated argument. But what the German said to him, just listen to them.
Hey, but you don't look that he kicked me? You don't look? You don't look he kicked me? You don't look? So wait, and shut up. Shut up. Shut up and wait, shut up. And you? Shut up. Now you are in the same place like me. Shut up. Come on. Bye. Bye.
Be humble. Be humble. Be humble.
Telling a man you'll buy his family. That's such a humiliating thing to say to a fellow footballer. But at number 9, a player disrespected a goat and got knocked out in the process. In the 2022 World Cup, Saudi Arabia defender Al Balahi taunted Tottenham's Son. Being a nice guy, Son just carried on with his game. He did the same thing to Lionel Messi,
Al Balahi slapped Lionel Messi on the back and told him, "You will not win,"
who was just wondering who Al Balahi was. But when he tried disrespecting Cristiano, this happened. I don't support violence, but this guy had it coming. Speaking of Ronaldo's violent tendencies, Curtis Jones found out the GOAT can kick everything. During a Premier League match between Manchester United and Liverpool, the Red Devils were already losing 3-0 with just a few seconds till halftime. Frustrated about being embarrassed by Liverpool at home, Ronaldo tried winning the ball from Curtis Jones, only for this to happen.
Ronaldo went to punish him. He had a kick. Initially a foul, that in itself perhaps worthy of yellow. But the second action from Cristiano Ronaldo is...
But while Ronaldo was kicking his frustrations away, Messi was being manhandled by Andy Robertson. After successfully winning the ball from Messi, Andy Robertson quickly stood up for a counterattack. While on his way, he decided to push Messi's head disrespectfully. This angered Messi, so when the two met again, he repaid the favor with interest. Speaking of pushing, Robert Firmino was the victim of a violent shove by Holgate. In another case of unhealthy rivalries, the dislike between Liverpool and Everton goes back to the beginning of English football itself. In the 2017 FA Cup fixture between the pair, Liverpool pushed hard to get a second goal. So when Firmino charged down Holgate, this happened.
Touch that from Pickford, and look how quickly Firmino is across. And Firmino is then pushed into the side by Mason Holgate. And Firmino has reacted, and Bobby Manley had to get in the way of it all. And we have the first big flashpoint of the Merseyside derby.
Damn! I don't blame him for retaliating the way he did. That push was so humiliating.
What the hell?
But now that we're down to our top 5 picks, we're about to take the disrespect to a whole different level. Starting with a player who thought he was auditioning for the UFC. In a Euro 2016 match between France and Portugal, Arsenal's Koscielny thought he had brilliantly guided the ball out of play, only for this to happen.
Vigilant throughout this tournament, bringing in strangle Koscielny. Instead of just taking a simple touch, he tries to get a trick.
A headlock and a rub like that. I dare him to try that against Holland. And speaking of the big Norwegian, his battle with Arsenal's Gabriel was so intense that he took out his frustration on the whole team. In the 2024 Premier League match between Man City and Arsenal, Holland scored an early goal, only for Arsenal to respond with 2 goals of their own.
Into the penalty area. Calafiori shoots! Oh, what a goal! When it comes in, it's a really good one. It's in! Gabriel's got his head to it, and Arsenal have taken the lead.
But with seconds to halftime, a controversial red card for Arsenal completely turned the game on its head. After halftime, Arsenal defended so deeply, frustrating every attempt by the City boys. But with the last kick of the game, Man City equalized.
It's opened up here, shot block must be, it's in! John Stones goes away and...
While trying to mock Gabriel, who he had battled with all game, Holland threw the ball to the back of his head. As soon as the restart was blown, he ran straight into Partey. Then, when the referee ended the game, he got into another argument with the Arsenal manager. I don't know what got him that angry, but I sure don't want to get into any scrap with that dude. But one thing I would like is to see 2 women fighting on the football pitch. The match between England and Nigeria at the Women's World Cup didn't go according to plan. It was cagey with a lot of fouls from both sides. One key battle was between England's Lauren James and Nigeria's Michelle Elosi. The 2 went at it all game, but with a few minutes left till full time, James did this.
Controls it towards James. Magnificent of control.
After the on-field review, red card for violent conduct.
Stamping on your opponent like that is simply not acceptable. But as silly as this was, it's nothing compared to what Ross Barkley did at number 2. During a match between Everton and Bournemouth, Ross Barkley found himself one-on-one against the goalkeeper. So when he dribbled past him, he started celebrating before even kicking the ball. I cannot help but think, what if he missed? It would have been the most embarrassing moment in football history. But his antics remind me of a certain athlete.
They get away first time. Jamaica, that is superb. It's a new...
But now, it's time for the most disrespectful moment in football. Matches between Inter and AC Milan are like bitter sibling rivalries. Although they share the same stadium, these two never see eye to eye. During the 2021 version of this heated affair, Lukaku wasn't happy about a tackle by a Milan player. So when he tried confronting him, all hell broke loose.
Lukaku che si arrabbia nei confronti dell'avversario, in particolare di Romagnoli, faccia a faccia, arriva che sia a spingere Lukaku, si accendono gli animi del derby.
You can get away with insults, name-calling, and all sorts of disrespectful things. But when you talk bad about someone's mother, that's crossing a line. That's why people get angry. They throw flares at players and beat up referees. I'm talking about the wildest moments in football history. Click on the next video to see them.